The Enlightenment Practices of Patanjali, Step 5. Sense withdrawal, reclaiming inner space. You've stilled the body, you've softened the breath, you've watched the mind without clinging. But still, something pulls, a rustle of sound, a flicker of light, a passing thought tied to what you heard hours ago. Even in silence, the world enters, through the back doors, through the senses. This is where many seekers turn back, not out of failure, but because they don't yet know. The path inward has a gate. That gate is sense withdrawal, what Patanjali called Pratyahara, the fifth step on the path of enlightenment. Today we open that gate together, not to reject the world, but to reclaim inner space. Segment 1. The true meaning of sense withdrawal. In the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali uses just a few words. Sense withdrawal is when the senses cease to be engaged with their objects and instead follow the direction of the mind itself. But what does this mean? And more importantly, what does it feel like? Imagine your five senses, sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell, as threads of attention constantly weaving outward. Every light you see, sound you hear, sensation you feel, these are hooks that catch your awareness and pull it into the world of form. Pratyahara is not shutting the senses down. It is cutting those threads loose, not through suppression, but through conscious return. The senses don't vanish. They rest. They dissolve into the stillness they emerged from. It is not avoidance. It is remembrance. You are not your eyes. You are not your ears. You are not the stream of images, sounds, and impressions. You are what remains when all of that is silent. Segment 2. The Sages and the Turtle, a symbol from the Bhagavad Gita. This idea of sense withdrawal is not unique to Patanjali. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, just as a tortoise draws its limbs inward, so too does the wise one withdraw the senses from their objects. Why a turtle? Because a turtle doesn't cut off its limbs. It simply draws them inward when needed. This is key. Pratyahara is voluntary stillness, not violence against the senses. You can see, you can hear, you can touch, but you no longer chase. There is no suppression, no asceticism, only redirection, a turning away from the periphery and a returning to the center. Segment 3. Why this step matters. The modern mind is overfed. In the ancient world, a person might have encountered a few dozen impressions in a day. Today, we absorb thousands, every hour. Digital stimulation, background noise, traffic, screens, notifications. Modern humans are drowning in sense data. This is not evolution. It is fragmentation. The nervous system was never designed to process so many inputs without pause. The result is a mind that cannot sit still because the senses are still on high alert. Pratyahara is the antidote. It is the sacred pause. It is nutritional fasting for the mind. Just as the body needs space between meals to digest and restore, the mind needs emptiness between perceptions. When you practice Pratyahara, you are not just withdrawing the senses, you are repairing your inner architecture. Segment 4. The Neuroscience Behind Sense Withdrawal. Modern studies in neuroscience support what yogis have known for centuries. When you reduce sensory input, alpha and theta brainwaves increase, associated with calm and meditation. Default mode network activity decreases, lowering self-referential thought. Cortisol, the stress hormone, drops. Heart rate variability improves, indicating better nervous system balance. This is not abstract. It's biological. It's alchemical. When you turn the senses inward, you change the chemistry of your being. And in that silence, something ancient begins to awaken. Segment 5. How to practice Pratyahara, techniques for real life. Pratyahara doesn't require a cave or a monastery. Here are 3 practices to begin. 1. The inner listening ritual. Each morning or evening, sit in a quiet space. Close your eyes, and for 5 minutes just listen. But don't name the sounds. Don't follow them. Let them come and go like waves. then listen to the space between the sounds. 2. The gentle break. Once per hour, turn away from your screen. Close your eyes, place your attention on your inner field. Feel the echo of space inside your body. No thinking, just awareness. Let the outer dissolve. 3. The candle practice. At night, light a candle. Stare at it softly for a few minutes, then close your eyes. Watch the inner image of the flame. Stay with it until it fades. This teaches the mind to hold form without chasing stimulation. Each of these practices trains the senses to become servants of stillness, not seekers of novelty. Segment 6. Subtle body and Pratyahara, sealing the energy gates. In subtle anatomy, the senses are not just physical. They are energetic portals, linked to nadis, energy channels, and chakras. When the senses are constantly engaged, energy leaks. This leads to fatigue, scattered attention, and poor meditation. But when you practice Pratyahara, you begin to seal those leaks. Like a jar with a tightened lid, your life force begins to build pressure inwardly. This internal reservoir, called ojas in Ayurveda, becomes the fuel for higher practices. Deep meditation, inner absorption, even awakening itself. Without Pratyahara, you lose power. With it, you become a contained flame, not flickering, but steady. Segment 7. The spiritual psychology of withdrawal. Many people fear this step. They say, won't I become disconnected, cold, numb to the beauty of the world? But this fear comes from misunderstanding. Pratyahara does not dull the senses. It purifies them. It lifts them from reactive grasping and restores them to conscious participation. After practicing Pratyahara, you begin to see more clearly, hear more delicately, touch more reverently, because now you're not consuming experience. You are meeting it from stillness. This is not disconnection. This is presence without clinging. Mystical reflection. In deep Pratyahara, the outer world begins to fade, not because it disappears, but because your attachment to it dissolves. The sound of wind, the feel of your breath, the pull of memory, they all fall away like clothes at the door of sleep. And what remains? A vastness, a warmth, a gentle hum of presence behind everything. This is the true gate of meditation, not posture, not technique, but the quiet surrender of the senses back to the source. When you reach this gate, do not force it open. Just sit quietly and let the world fall inward. This was step 5, sense withdrawal, reclaiming inner space. It is the hinge between the outer limbs and the inner ones. It is the point where yoga moves from discipline to union. If you felt something stir within you while listening, trust that. It means the senses are already starting to soften. In our next steps, we'll go deeper still. From sense withdrawal into one-pointed concentration, and from there into true meditation. Subscribe to continue this sacred journey through the inner sciences of Patanjali. And if you feel called to help keep this transmission alive, consider becoming a member. You're not just supporting content, you're helping preserve a lineage. May your breath guide you back inward. May your senses become servants of stillness. And may you remember the space you never left.